All right, so what can go in the unit? Pretty much anything that's organic can be fed to the unit. There's just a few exceptions. Let's first talk about compostable items. Most compostable items can go into our units even if it is commercially compostable. The only exception are plastics. Anything with PLA takes way too much time to decompose in our units. So anything plastic related doesn't go into the unit. All food waste can go inside. The only things we don't put in are pits, so like mango pits, avocado pits, shellfish shells, like hard clam shells, crab legs, and bones. We don't put bones in the unit. Small bones like fish bones, uncooked chicken bones generally are fine, but anything larger than that we recommend not putting inside. Salty materials like marinaras or sauces, you want to avoid putting too much. You can put in protein, so unlike traditional composting, you put in proteins, meats, it'll all decompose. Eggshells, great. Loves coffee grounds. You can put in limited amounts of dairy, so you can put in cheeses, you can put in spoiled milk. You just don't want to overwhelm it with too much, but it will break it down. So basically anything organic, it will break down and decompose. Compost gets up to the arrow, and it doesn't have to be right at the tip, but if it's somewhere within this arrow, you know that it's time to empty. What we recommend is that at that point, you suspend feeding for at least 24 hours. That way, everything that's been put into the unit has at least 24 hours to process. In an ideal situation, a lot of our corporate customers and schools, they feed it Monday through Friday. They let it rest Saturday, Sunday, and then they empty it first thing Monday morning before they start feeding again. So if you have enough food waste to be on that cycle, it's a really good way to maintain your unit. But when it gets to this point, you suspend the feeding, let it process for 24 hours, then it's time to empty. And what you're gonna do, you can leave your unit shut, doesn't have to be open, it can be rotating, and you're gonna open your outlet port on this side. Now we'll have videos of different outlet ports because like this machine in general, we're constantly upgrading and improving the technology, and we have a better outlet port now than this particular unit, but the use case is pretty similar. You just open this up, lock it into place, and then as the stirring arms rotate, they're just gonna push the food out into a bucket. So you'll place a bucket here, and it'll push the food out into the bucket, the compost in the bucket. One of the things that I like to do, because I don't like to wait for it to do this, I might reach in here in the smaller, this 30 kilogram unit, and I might reach here and help push out some of the compost just to make it go faster. And that works really well. Otherwise, like in the bigger units, I'll use a trenching shovel and I'll just help push it out so it speeds up. Now, if you don't care about the speed, you can sit and wait for it, and it's just gonna rotate through and slowly deposit it into your bucket. Once you're done feeding, if you're emptying, make sure that you lock it back into place. If you don't lock it back into place, you're gonna get an error and your machine will stop rotating after a time. So make sure that your outlet port is closed and secure. Now the final thing with emptying, I recommend, especially if you're emptying once a week, let that be the time that you do a basic cleaning. Cleaning is very simple. It's just taking a wet spray bottle with water, and you're just gonna spray around the edges, right? You're gonna spray around the edges. You can use your brush to brush things off, but it's basically to clean up any of the unsightly food waste that may have gotten stuck around the sides, or if there's something that's dripped on it. Brush all that food down into the chamber. The reason you want to do that is, number one, that food that's sitting there can get moldy. It's unsightly, and it can cause odor issues if it's left there. So you want to make sure you keep that opening of your unit clean. Other than that, that's basic cleaning. It's just cleaning off any of the overspray from food, anything that might have chunked up here on the top. Keep that clean, and you're gonna avoid having mold and odor issues and bacteria that you don't want.